Alan, skateboarder update.
You're going to have to start pushing up the hill now and starting right at the very bottom of the dipper there in the bottom of the tunnel.
Right, so I've often thought to myself that it's difficult to tell how steep that hill is because you're enclosed in a tunnel, but I get the distinct impression it's pretty steep.
Because you notice that if you're going into the tunnel, down the hill, you're sitting on 80, all of a sudden you look at your speedo and you're doing about 50 and you don't realise it. It's because you're going up that steep incline.
Which this skateboarder is currently going up.
And you hear trucks behind you changing gear all over the place and revving their motors.
Yeah, you're very conscious of whether you're behind a truck or not because some of them start to struggle as they go up that hill. Yeah. Cops, we are now witnessing on the live stream that the police are now in the tunnel. They will be scooping him up, presumably. Pete Ford, grateful for the time of Station Officer with the MFB, Alan Morton, who is the person who apprehended the skateboarder in the tunnel. Alan, good morning to you.
Yeah, good morning, fellas. I'm here with the lovely Yvette, just at our Burnley complex. So I just dropped the guy off to the police. So.
Okay, so you would just happen to be going through the tunnel in an MFB vehicle or your own?
Yeah, no, an MFB vehicle, so it was an emergency vehicle. Otherwise I would have been a bit hesitant about stopping in the tunnel. But I just was on the way to work in the Burnley complex where I work, and in fact, I heard it on the radio because I listened to you guys as I was coming into the tunnel, so I kept an eye out and came across him in about the middle of the tunnel.
So did you sort of affect a citizen's arrest on this bloke?
I wouldn't say a citizen's arrest. I would probably call it a public safety move.
No.
Yeah, as an operational firefighter, public safety is certainly our concern, so he was a hazard to himself and other people. So
no, good on you, Alan. That's just an exercise of common sense. What did he say? Why was he in there?
Good question. I did say, what are you doing? After I ordered him to get in the car, I asked him what he thought he was doing, and he said, and I'll quote, "It looked like a nice road."
It's settled on Mount Everest of skateboarders. Is he from Melbourne?
No, he was. I think he was from Switzerland. He said he'd been here a couple of weeks, but I'm not sure whether he went to Melbourne or had been in the country a couple of weeks. But he didn't seem to have a clue that he shouldn't be in there skateboarding.
Did he come along willingly, or did he put up a bit of a fight?
No, he was quite happy to get in because I think he'd had his fun and he was on the upward stretch. So he was quite happy to jump in.
Starting to get a bit puffed.
And he had a few injuries. He looked like he'd come off a few times. So
what?
Yeah.
Fair income. What sort of injuries?
Oh, just deep, if you fall off a skateboard, I presume you get pretty bad grazes on the palms of your hands and on your knees. So,
right, and you handed him to the police?
Yeah, look, when I exited the tunnel, I pulled over in the waiting bay and I just told him, I said, look, I think there's an ambulance that's coming behind us, so we'll just wait. I didn't tell him it was the police, and just sat there for about a minute or so, and when the police come, I flagged them down, and we actually just drove around the corner into our Burnley complex where he's assisting them, I think, with their inquiries.
Alan, brilliant work. Please take 2 bottles of Gulf Station Pinot Noir with our compliments.
Oh, thanks, fellas. Lovely.